Okay. And we are live with episode 9 of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky, the third. It is time for the penultimate chapter. So let's go do that. Chapter 7, The Distant Flames. This is only a copy of Astor House, yes? But it looks so... Yeah, I can barely bring myself to accept it's not the real thing. Everything from the feel of the earth underfoot to the smells in the air are just like the real thing. Yeah. So this is where the two of you grew up? Huh? I'm guessing this is somewhere owned by the Septine Church, right? That's right. It's what's called a gospel facility. Think of them as a cross between an orphanage and a monastery. I see. So does that mean... Well, noticing the dance around it, so yep, I'm an orphan. And how I came to be here is a story best saved for another day. Feels weird being back here again, though. It's been about 5 years. 5 very long years. Well, anyway, we're bound to find some kind of clue as to how to get to the 7th plane somewhere in here. You guys up for having a look around the area with me? Yeah, let's go. There's an empty well. We used to get our drinking water out of here. We had no fancy orbital pumps either. We did it all using a good old-fashioned bucket with string attached. It was a nightmare. Tell me about it. We would go out on winter mornings and come back with our hands numb and red raw. But looking back on the whole experience now, it was fun in its own way. I guess it was. What's this room? This is the living room where we used to have all of our meals. Just don't make the mistake of thinking it was a warm place like Mercia Orphanage. The matron here was a stubborn old sister who was strict as could be. Every mealtime we had to pray so much that our stomachs had given up on getting fed by the end of it. We got yelled at for the tiniest thing. Ouch! That does sound harsh. That sounds like about what you'd expect from a church or an orphanage, though, I suppose. You deserved it all, in my opinion. You never did as you were told and caused her nothing but grief. Okay, I'll admit that's probably accurate, but still. As you can probably guess, this right here is the kitchen. This is where the older children of the facility did the cooking. It was also Ariza's favorite place to sneak into whenever she'd had a hankering for some food. Kevin! She did, huh? That makes sense, knowing you. There's a sight I can hardly imagine. Please don't take everything he says at face value. Well, anyway, this was always Rufina's turf back when she was still here. She was always out here around mealtime making food for me, Reese, and the other kids. After she left, Reese and I took over her position. That brings back memories. Of course, then you left too, leaving me to handle it all alone. Damn it, Kevin! Why would you leave her alone like that? There's a million reasons for him to not leave her alone. Like... the mere thought aggravates me. In fact, I think you should whip up something right now to make up for your selfishness. Yes, ma'am. I'll make something later. The only thing less reliable than a promise with later attached to the end is one said by you. That hurts. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Sorry, man, no faith in me, huh? That is funny, though. This was the matron's room. No one's here now, though. Yeah. By the way, Reese, how is the matron these days? She's fine. Her injuries weren't lasting. She hasn't had the energy she used to ever since retiring, unfortunately. She really wanted to see you again, Kevin. She did, huh? This here's the kids' bedroom. I slept here back when I was first taken in before graduating to the boys' bedroom. You never really did mix well with the other children. Rufina had such a hard time trying to get you to make friends with them. It was a real ordeal for her, you know. Yeah, I know. I was like a little hedgehog who didn't want to let anyone get near back then. I feel sorry for everyone who had to put up with me. Still amazed you even bothered trying to be friendly. Well, I knew you were only playing tough. Like that time with Rufina and the chocolate. Stop! We're not hearing that story here. No, I'm really curious. I wonder what happened. Reese really needs to lay off when it comes to Kevin. This is the boys' bedroom where I slept until I was about 10 years old. Technically, the boys and girls weren't supposed to enter one another's bedrooms. That never stopped Reese here from doing it all the time, though. What he neglects to mention is that it was his fault I did so. What else was I supposed to do when he slept in every morning he was on cleaning duty? Well, you could have just knocked on the door until I got up. But then I disturbed the other boys who were sleeping, which would have been unfair. They weren't the ones shirking their duties. It was 100% your fault. Fine, fine, whatever you say. She's right. I zoomed. This here's the girls' bedroom. The place where Rufina spent her nights. Same for you eventually too, Reese. I even used to sleep with her from time to time. Her bed was always cozy and smelled really nice. It was much nicer than sleeping in my own. After she left here, her bed became mine. I bet you were jealous. Hey, you bet. I was at the time, I'll admit. Oh, I thought you'd be a bit more flustered than that. I shouldn't have bothered saying anything. Give me a break. She is a bit harsh on Kevin. Like, he deserves it sometimes. How does this door open? This is a side entrance that only opens from the inside. We can't get in from the outside. Yeah, if we want to get into the chapel, we're gonna have to go through the front. The door is locked. Figures. Is it locked? Yeah. Well, whatever. We can keep poking around. There was no sign of anything in there. Our last hope seems to be the chapel. So it seems. What is it, Kevin? Hey, Reese. You were the one responsible for cleaning the chapel that day, right? What day? On Asterhouse's final day. When Rufina died. Kevin. You don't think... That was what I was told when I went to visit the matron afterward, at least. Well, were you? Yeah, I was. Why? I thought so. Check your pockets, Reese. I'm pretty sure the chapel key's in one of them. Huh? Yeah, she found an old brass gate. It can't be. No way. I see now. I guess it's just another manifestation of Phantasma's ability to make thoughts into reality. Honestly, I wasn't entirely sure you'd find it in there. But in all the other areas on this plane, there was always a reason to take the person we needed with us. This just goes to show that you really were meant to come here, Reese. But... No, as disbelieving as I am, this is definitely the chapel's key. Suppose all we can do right now is try to go inside. Yeah. Pain! Stop this! The door is locked. Before we go in here, Reese, there's something I should warn you about. Once you step through that door, there'll be no going back. You're going to find out the truth about what happened that day. All of it. And you won't like it. Are you sure you're ready for what you're about to find? I'm more than ready. Death. Death becomes us. All these years, I've never quite been able to accept what happened here. The life I thought I knew just suddenly came to an end, with us all getting moved to other places, and I still don't even know why. I even tried to come back here just before beginning my training to become a squire, but it had already been demolished. I've been ready for a long time. I want to know the truth. More than anything, I feel like knowing will let me get closer to you and Rufina. Okay, let's head on in then. Right. Does Kevin know what happened? Should the rest of us wait outside for this? No, actually I'd prefer if you came in with me. This is relevant to you guys too, in a sense. Pan... It all started 5 years ago. A Jaeger Corps someone had hired took this place over out of nowhere. By the way, how much do you remember of that day, Reese? Just so I know. I just remember a group of men in black forcing their way through the gate and charging in here. They tied everyone up, took the matron up to the second floor, and then... Next thing you knew, you were in a bed in the hospital in town, right? After which you found out that Rufina and I had come to rescue everyone. And that she had died in the process. That about right? Oh boy! Just what happened, Kevin. All I've heard is that it was the work of someone who opposed the church. But I haven't had a chance to meet you since then, much less to ask you about it. I tried asking Instructor Selnet, but she wouldn't say a word. That doesn't surprise me. The Grozer's command can't admit this orphanage was being used as a smokescreen for an artifact that needed sealing away. It what? Here we go. So... Is shit about to hit the fan? A secret passage. I'm fucking terrified of where this is going. Wait. If there was an artifact here, you don't mean... Yep. Below here is a primal ground used to seal artifacts away. Just like the one under Gronso Cathedral. Fuck's sake! I'm sure you remember. The day it all happened, Rufina and I were due to come back here for the first time in a while. We were both coming from different places we'd been sent, so we wanted to meet up in town and come the rest of the way here. Together. But then her train was delayed, leaving me in town to wait for her alone. That was when I got word of what happened. All I could think was that you and the other kids were in danger, and so I decided to try and take out the Jaegers here alone. They weren't all that experienced, so fighting them wasn't even hard for a squire like me. Before long, I was able to disable them all and free the matron and the other kids. Or so I thought. You were nowhere to be seen. I asked the other kids where you were. They told me one of the Jaegers had taken you somewhere else and that you were unconscious. I looked frantically all over, trying to find you before eventually someone across this place. As for how... You remember how you didn't have your ribbon in your hair when you woke up, Reese? I do. What does that have to do with anything? I found that ribbon in front of the secret passage we've just gone through. And there were new footprints near it too. Made it easy to find the entrance. Oh. Anyway. After getting in here, I made my way down this staircase in pursuit of the Jaeger that had taken you. I don't like where this is going. And like, I already have trouble sleeping. Hey Reese, do you remember what I was like back when you first met me? Yeah, I was still young at the time, but it's as fresh as if it were only yesterday. You look like you'd been swallowed by blackness, like there wasn't a single thread of hope bound to you. It was scary. I kept wondering what must have happened to you, what you must have seen to make you end up that way. What must have happened to me, huh? Rufina seemed like she knew. Before I met you, I killed my mom. Okay! Not where I thought it was going, but let's keep going. Yikes. Maybe killed isn't the right expression. It's not like I directly did it. I still let her die, though. I still got a responsibility for what happened. Okay, so he didn't kill her. Growing up, it was basically me and my mom for the most part. My father showed his face from time to time, but not that much. From what I understand, he had another family elsewhere. But even without him, she did her best to look after me on her own. I loved her dearly. Kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of me for how I talked, which I got from her. But I just beat them up most of the time. Oh. I don't like where that's going. She was always kind, she loved cooking, and yeah, I thought the world of her. Fuck's sake. When I was 7, my father, who had all the money in the world, chose to abandon her. At the best of times, she was always a frail person, and after that, she grew more and more despondent. Her health suffered. I tried everything a kid could do to cheer her up, but nothing I did worked. And during one winter's day, when she must have finally had enough, she came over while I was sleeping and tried to strangle me. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I failed as your mother. But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. At least this way, the two of us can. I guess she figured that if we were both going to suffer, we might as well take the easy way out as a family. But I wouldn't let her take me with her. Before I knew what I was doing, I pushed her aside and ran barefoot out into the snow. I wandered around for a while after that. I couldn't understand what had happened or what she'd been trying to do. Eventually, I could feel myself getting hungry. I thought that maybe she'd been able to clear her head. I made my way back home, nervous as could be, and... Sorry for making you listen to all this. Still, I think that's probably when it happened. When my stigma was carved inside me. What? Holy fuck! That's so intense, like... Jeez. Where are we? Who would have thought a place like this existed under an orphanage? This was where I finally caught up to the eager who had you with him. He probably didn't think anyone was going to come after him. The second he saw me, he panicked, and putting his gun down, he ran over to this pedestal right in front of us. On it was the artifact that required sealing away I mentioned earlier. The Spear of Loa. Your S-break thing? What's the Spear of Loa? A malignant spear that transforms the body of its wielder into that of a monster. It's hard to believe something like that could be a gift from the goddess, right? In any case, the corner Diego grabbed it and used it. Not as... I didn't stand a chance. Much as I tried, I wasn't any match for the inhuman monster before me. He knocked me to the ground and then went to raise the spear against the still unconscious you. That's all it took. Yikes! This man went like spirit unification levels of Reen on this dude. That made no sense. Give me a moment. The man went full spirit unification Reen on the dude, which is hilarious. I remember in Cold Steel 1, Reen, the first time we see him go spirit unification was when his sister was in trouble. My stigma drew all of the spirit's power from it into itself, and blasted it, magnified countless times over, into the eager's body. The result wasn't even a battle. Our precious home became a slaughterhouse. By the end, he wasn't even recognizable, just thousands of lumps of flesh strewn all over the floor. After feeding him, my stigma's power was still coursing through my body. I'd never experienced anything like that before. I lost complete control of myself. He killed Rufino. At this point, Rufino arrived, and she seemed to understand exactly what had happened. Using her bowgun and Templar sword, she was able to separate me from you and prevent me from doing you any harm. And then... yeah. When I returned to my senses, I was in her arms, dumbfounded. Her body was full of holes all over, but she hugged me as tightly as she could. That's when she drew her last breath. Fuck! This man's got some shit to your luck. No. There it is, the truth you wanted. It wasn't that I couldn't save Rufino. I was the one who killed her. With my own hands, right in front of you. But you didn't. I didn't want to? Maybe not, but that's just an excuse. If I'd been able to control my stigma's power instead of letting it consume me and fill me with bloodlust, it wouldn't have happened. Still not your fault. You have definitely been cursed by someone. Melga. Sorry. Something in my throat. If I wasn't so weak, she'd still be alive today. That's not all either. This man is about to drop another bomb on us. At least she was unconscious. Looking at her standing before me at that moment, she reminded me of my mother. She reminded me of Mom when she came to strangle me. Suddenly, this feeling of betrayal welled up inside me. This desire for revenge, so I filled her full of spears. I love them both. I wanted to protect them both. And what did I do? I killed them both. Me. You didn't kill your mom, though. She killed herself. Why? Why did you... Why did I what? Why didn't you tell me this before? 5 years apart, and this is the first time you're telling me this? Sorry, I know I should have done it earlier, but now I have, and I'm ready for the consequences. So go on. If you want to avenge her, do it. If anything, it'd make me happy if you did. You're so stupid. What are you? You think I want to avenge her? That's not why I'm angry at all. Why have you shouldered burden that great all this time, all on your own? We're family, Kevin. Why didn't you ever talk to me? Why didn't you ever let me hug you? Why didn't you let me do anything to help you? Oh my... Can you... This series is not pulling my heartstrings. I'm not ready for Crossball at all. Reese. I finally understand. I always thought you were hunting down heretics as some kind of atonement for letting Rufino die. But that's not it at all, is it? Come on, Reese. I finally understand. You don't want to atone for anything. You don't want to get rid of your sense of guilt at all. You... That's right, he wants to be punished for what he did. Oh. The Lord of Phantasma. Why now of all times? You have my congratulations on making it this far. Beyond here lies the 7th plane. The place of my birth and the foundation of all planes hereafter. Thought so. And judging by how we have to go through here to get there, I was right, wasn't I? Right about what? Allow me to ask you once again. So, Kevin Graham, do you really want to see the face underneath this mask? Damn right I do. It's time to take that creepy mask thing and show us who you really are. Rufino Argent. I thought it'd be Weissman. Ah, with pleasure. Rufino? I miss you dearly, Reese. And as for you, Kevin, I'm impressed you're able to work out my real identity. It wasn't hard. I had a feeling from the start. The answer was right in front of my face the whole time. And your every taunt should have made me that much more sure. The only reason I couldn't be until now was because I didn't want to accept the truth. Quite. You always were, weakling. You can imagine how surprised I was when you were able to defeat my strongest knight. You talking about the Blade Lord? What connection does he even have to you anyway? I met him through my work. Oh, about 6 years ago? We were enemies at the time, but we managed to reach a compromise of sorts. And he felt he owed me a debt for as much. Alright, so you ended up summoning him in order to have him repay it. It's a crafty move, but that's not so out of character for you. Huh. Flattery won't get you anywhere with me. Still, now that you've made it this far, I assume you understand what I'm trying to do. Yeah, and I'm ready. Take me away. Wait, what are you two talking about? I would have thought you worked the answer to that out already, Reese. Do you recall what I said before? Kevin wants to be punished. Then you... I was born here in order to give him the punishment he strives for with his every breath. It was to that end that I recreated Phantasma into its current form and welcomed all of you here. All of this was a result of Kevin's desires. He wanted this to happen. You're lying. Sorry, she isn't. I couldn't tell you why it all actually happened. But what she says is true. No. The seventh plane is likely somewhere made for the express purpose of punishing me over and over. Why the fuck were the rest of us dragged here then? Anyway. A fitting hell for someone who let his own mother die and killed Rufino to suffer and rot. And once I'm dropped down there, this will all be over. Wait a second, why should you have to do that? You can't be serious, Kevin. Reese? What do you think you're doing, Reese? That's not a very nice thing to do to your sister. Shut up. You're not my sister. My sister would never do something like this. Never. Reese. You promised me, Kevin. You promised me that you'd never do anything that would make Rufina sad. So what do you think you're doing? I can believe sacrificing yourself for everyone to make her happy. Reese, stop. Who are you to say it wouldn't? I might not be the real Rufina, but I'm a very close copy of her. If Kevin wants to be punished, why wouldn't I want to give him his wish? Because that's not how Rufina was at all. She'd never indulge something like that, not in 1,000 years. Think back to when you first met us, Kevin. You'd given up on the world like you just wanted to disappear. But did she let you do that? No. She forced chocolate down your throat and dragged you right back into the real world, even when you didn't want to, whether you liked it or not. Yes. She... Yeah... Josh was just like, oh. You can probably tell Josh was probably like, what the fuck am I... Well, this is a surprise. You've grown a lot more than I was expecting it, if you were able to talk back to me. Stop talking to me as if you're my sister. You are not, and I won't stand for you defiling her any further. Well, if that's how you want to do things, perhaps I should invite you in Kevin's place. Me? No! The rest of you can stand by and watch. Yeah. What? It's just like the one that devil used. Reese, stop this, Rufina. She's got nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but she has. Consider this another part of your punishment. After all, if she suffers for all eternity in your place, that's going to make your suffering all the more potent, isn't it? Please. Go ahead and do your worst. Oh? Reese. Draw me wherever you like. I'll live. I'm never going to let Kevin be alone again. I will come back to him. Fighting words, my sweet sister. We shall see whether you can make good on them. Ah. Whee! Ah. Kevin? Ah! Oh! Well, fuck. You know, I kind of expected Weissman. I did not expect it for it to be, Rufina of all people. Hey. Hey, Reese. Up. Kev? In? Oh, we in hell! Ah. You okay? Feeling any pain? No, I'm okay, I think. But why are you... I fell through that crack alone. So why are you... You big dummy. Me? What were you thinking with all that taunting? Go ahead and do your worst. Draw me wherever you like. I'll live. And just how do you know you'll live? Oh, right. You don't. But you're a squire, aren't you? A rookie like you with no experience or proper judgment has no business making calls that put her own safety at risk. If you can't promise me to never do that again, then you and I both know you're not cut out to be part of the girls' order. Oh, jeez, Kevin! Easy! True, but easy. That's probably what I should be saying. Anyway, but it'd be real rich coming from me, huh? So I'll let you off with that little bop there. Huh? Look around us. This is it. The 7th plane. Wow. We're in actual hell. Gehenna. Yeah, pretty much. Oh boy, we're in hell. Let's go. Gehenna. Yep, it's just like the Testament's brought to life. And I'm the one responsible for bringing it all. Yeah, can you stop with the... Oh. After all, if there's one place that's possible, it's fantastic. It's phantasmal. I don't know if Rafina came back, but she did, with both memories and personality intact. Now I have the good fortune of being punished by one of the very people I wronged. I really couldn't think of a more fitting punishment for a bastard like me. Everything she said was dead on. More than anything, I wanted to be punished. Figured that by accepting that punishment, all of this would be done and everyone else could go back to their lives. I thought I could be just like her, sacrificing my own life so everyone else could be saved. But that wouldn't make me like her at all, would it? No. She might have given up her life to save ours, but that wasn't because she was happy to throw away her life to protect someone else's. It was because she saw literally no other option. With me unconscious, she didn't even have the choice to retreat. There was no way out of the situation without one of the three of us losing our lives. That's the only reason she chose to do what she did. Yeah. She was never the kind of person who would praise self-sacrifice as some kind of virtue. She'd only ever accept it as an option if all the other options had been exhausted, and it was truly the only way. Right, but this time that's not the case. You're here, I'm here, all of our friends are here. If we put our heads together, I'm sure we could have found another way out of here. One where no one would have to die. You must have realized that, and yet, you tried to take the easy way out, didn't you? I'd say it, but yeah, I did. That's a pretty shameful thing for a Dominion to be doing, huh? See, I've gotten alright criticizing you. I'm even less fit to be a knight than you. Still, standing around lamenting my own feelings isn't gonna get us anywhere. So if you're up for walking, let's get ourselves out of here. Come again? What are you looking so surprised for? You didn't think I was gonna stay here and accept being punished for all eternity, did you? Well, either that or stay here and wait for Rufina to show up again. Listen here, Reese. I'm not gonna deny that there's a part of me, a big part, that wants to be punished for what I did. Or that there's a part of me that was overjoyed to see Rufina again. However it came to be. But I'm not alone down here. You're here with me, and believe me, that changes everything. As long as you're here, I'm not staying in this hellhole a second longer than I have to. We're getting out of here, you and me, no matter what it takes. Right. Right. Reeves without her hat. So... Far from the orb. So, the chest is empty. I can't even proper navigate this place because of the fact that it won't let me turn the camera north. Tabernaculum. The chest is empty. Wait, do all of them have a just the chest is empty? I really do hate when it doesn't let us adjust the camera angle. The chest is empty. I think they're all just the chest is empty. The chest is empty. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all just the chest is empty. The fuck? That dude be scary. Rah! Can I ignore it? Kevin Graham! You son of a bitch. How dare you? What? One of the heretics are killed, huh? Damn right I am. I'm Owen, the first of so many lives you claimed. Owen? He was a bishop in the congregation of divine worship. He was also the one who hired those Jaegers to attack Asterhouse. All as a pathetic act of revenge after being exiled for corruption. Him? Like he says, he was my first target after taking up my role as heretic hunter. Heh, I never thought I'd have the chance to see your ugly mug again. How's it feel to crawl around in this flaming pit for all eternity? Unable to even die to break free from it all. It's hot. It hurts. I hate it. I hate it. It's hot. I hate it. I hate it. I hurt. Hate. Help me. Hot. Hate. Pain. Hate. Help. Hot. Hate. Hate. What a pitiful sight you are now. Well, hey, I guess you've suffered enough that I can put you out of your misery. No more heat or suffering for you. Just a quick death and eternal rest as a Gamorrean. Oh, fuck's sake. That actually annoyed me. Hopefully that kills them all. Kevin. Alright, let's keep this up. I doubt we're near the exit just yet. We can't dawdle here for too long. It looks like we go up and then we go down, which is annoying. The chest is empty, yeah. Not supposed to. Spear of Aloha. We need something that's like that's like prevents death blows. Right, it's like prevents death blows. You know, gara. Please let me eat you. I'm so hungry. A child? His name's Elmer. He was a young boy turned into a flesh-eating monster by a fanatical devil-worshipping cult. They did it all through a ritual involving artifacts. I tried everything I could to save him. Every kind of thaumaturgy I could think of. But eventually the only option was to put him out of his misery. No. I can... It won't hurt. You didn't deserve this, kid, but I'm not gonna blame Adios either. If you want to resent someone, resent me. So let me put you to peace a second time. No, I don't want to die. I just don't want to be hungry anymore. I feel so bad. Like, I feel so bad. They're making it easier to kill them. This would kill them all. Oh, fuck's sake. Someone stole my CP again. Okay. Yes. Restore 60 ACP.
Sorry. Two-handed guy.
Pain. I didn't want to get out of bed for a week after that one. How times change. This is practically another day for me now. Kevin. Why? Why have you been trying to deal with all this all on your own all this time? You could have at least talked to me. I chose the path I walked by myself, Reese. What right do I have to drag others down with me? Especially you. Nah, that's not why I didn't talk to you about it at all, is it? I think more than anything I was afraid. I didn't want you to see me trying to hurt myself to punish myself. I was afraid that if you did, the bond between us would be severed forever. And that thought alone was too much to bear. Yeah, I bet that was the real reason. I was right, you're stupid. You're the stupidest person I've ever met. Couldn't you use something a little more affectionate? I called you a dummy before, right? That one's cute. Although, I guess being stupid suits me. You dummy. You blockhead, you half-wit. She's just gonna go run the gauntlet of calling him an idiot. That's an impressive collection of insults you've got in stock. Yeah. You okay now, Reese? I'm fine. You don't need to worry about me. I'll do all I can to get us out of here. So I don't want you to worry about me. I want you to rely on me. Okay. Let's use the last of the items. No, it'd be Let's see. Restore CP. Anything that uses CP, I'll use. Obviously not powder or capsules. Status. Rees a 96! That's fair. Anyway, I'll be right back. I'm back. Let's go. So I'm guessing the final boss of this. Ow! That is a scary thing. The final boss of this area is gonna be Weissman. Weissman is the final. Weissman is, after all, the final. The final dude that Kevin killed. Well, theoretically, Weissman is the last. Is the last dude. He's the last that we know of. The chest is. What the hell is the saffron necklace? Prevents ailments except KO. Prevents ailments except KO. So mix that with Skull Pendant and you've got everything. Well, maybe it protects from... It'll also protect against Death Blow, because that's technically an ailment. Those mirrors, one of them blocks arts, the other blocks thing. I'm like, I don't know which is which. So I just avoid them in general. The chest is empty. Oh, no, this one doesn't do Death Blow, but this one does. I think. Doesn't matter. Let's open up... the final area. I'm so sorry, Kevin. No! I failed as your mother. Oh, fuck! But I'm so tired. I'm so tired. No! Mom, is this... At least this way. At least this way. The two of us can... Cold. Absolutely cold.
All yours.
This is good, because I'm going to need 200 CP for... on both for Weissman. Because he's for sure the final battle.
All yours.
I need medium Petrify Cloud. Okay. Okay. This is annoying. Because It's 30 CP. I don't have that. That's all we needed. No! Rip. Alright, we gotta rely on arts then.
Oh, pitiful souls, may you rest in peace.
Damn, that one hurt. Kevin, you don't... If this place and everything in it was seriously what I wanted for myself, then I'm probably the biggest masochist who ever lived, don't you think? Yeah, no fucking shit! You don't need to force yourself to talk, Kevin. Sorry. I suppose this moment had to come sooner or later. I've been running away from Mom's death ever since the day I lost her, always so desperate to look away from it all. But now, I feel like I could finally accept what happened. You're sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Let's get going, Reese. There'll be plenty of time to be sad after we get out of this place. Right now, we need to concentrate on living long enough to do that. Okay. Honestly, I thought she was gonna give him a hug. Because the man looks like he needs it. That's the final chest. Of this area, at least. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen in, I'll be right back. I'm not ready for this. Alright. Let's do this. This man's. I'm pretty sure this is Weissman. Oh. We're at the exit. The gates of Gehenna. The gates of Gehenna. Those gates are distorted but steadfast, serving to keep the living and the dead apart. Yeah, they've been accurately realized for sure. Too bad the testaments don't give us any clues as to how the two of us can force them open. Nor do you have any chance of doing so. Who was that? About time. A pleasure to see you again, Kevin Graham. I never thought we'd have the pleasure of meeting face to face again. Certainly not a place bedecked with so many delightful peculiarities. I figured you might show up eventually. With this place being full of people I've killed, you rearing your ugly head was always a given. Who is he? He's the biggest sinner the church has ever been unfortunate enough to have in their ranks. The bishop of the Congregation for the Sacraments, who went on to become an Anguist in Ouroboros. Georg Weissman, the demon I put an end to half a year ago. That's him? Not discerning your identity was truly my most careless blunder. I never suspected that the priest before me would be the one to inherit the long vacant position of the Fifth Dominion. Life does so love its surprises, doesn't it? Well, that was the point. Me being a Dominion was deliberately kept secret so that I could serve as one of the congregation's trump cards. Of course, the truth's out in the open now, but it's a fair enough price to pay if it means you're dead. The congregation always were a cunning bunch. They created such an elaborate scheme just to take out poor little me. Was the plan conceived shortly after your Sigma first manifested? No, I'm sure it was. And after that, it was merely biding your time till you could make your move. With the Dominion, the assault pale, and a carefully designed game plan on the side, the odds of me escaping with my life were woefully slim indeed. You're right about how cunning they are. In that sense, you were probably just as right when you called me a damn dog. I was fine with being that way too. How respectable of you. I must admit, I am astounded. I've carried out plenty of my own research on stigmas and their capabilities, but I had no idea a genuine article was capable of quite this much. What are you talking about? I suspect that deep down, you already know the answer, but it's my deepest pleasure to elaborate. The Gehenna in which we stand is a reflection of your Latin desires that you already know. But more specifically, the cause of this is your stigma. Huh? What do you mean? After the Oriole's disappearance, Phantasma was thrown into a state of great confusion. After all, Phantasma was the Oriole's subsystem. Without the Oriole to control it, it was like a ship whose captain had suddenly vanished, lost. To calm its own confusion, Phantasma sought a new master who could take the place of the Oriole and control it. Specifically, it chose the person with the deepest trauma from among those close to the Oriole when it vanished. Its decision made, it found the stigma that exists deep within you and made a copy within itself. That stigma then manifested your Latin desire, Gehenna, here in Phantasma. And that is how both this and the Lord of Phantasma came into existence. Kevin. Well, I suppose that's enough exposition for now. And now that we're clear of all confusion, I have a proposition for you. One that'll allow you to resolve all of this without a single loss of life. A tantalizing prospect, no? You can do that? Really? It's quite simple. You need only to cast away your humanity, nothing more. Your stigma rose from the ashes of immense despair and guilt. What better way to deal with this, a situation, than to become a being that is not burdened by such worthless emotions? To become a truly self-supporting superhuman capable of controlling every facet of themselves. You're insane. That's no way for people to live. Yet it is the goal I obsessively pursue in both life and death alike. My research into stigmas was but one part of my efforts to achieve it. My efforts with Joshua may not have borne fruit, but you are so very close to reaching it. And once you become a superhuman, you'll be able to fully control your own stigma and emerge as a new Lord of Phantasma. Silence, Faceless! Stop trying to deceive him with that forked tongue of yours. Please, I am doing no such thing. I only presented a modest proposal at best. Not one word I've said is a lie, I swear it. You could argue that I may feel resentment towards him for being instrumental in my death, but at this point that matters little to me. Everything pales in significance to see my long-cherished ambition realized. I abandoned the church's teachings and joined Ouroboros in pursuit of creating a superhuman, and now I finally can. You're insane. It's alright, Reese. You don't need to keep defending me. Kevin? I'm glad to see you understand me. I always knew you'd see sense in the end. So I disagree with the fact that I need to be stronger than I am. It was my weakness and my cowardice that led to taking Rufina's life with my own hands. It was my weakness and my cowardice that led to rejecting Mom and allowing her to die. And now, it's those same two qualities that have led to Reese and the others getting drawn into this mess to suffer. All of those things are on me. All of them. But, you're absolutely right. But there's no need to spare any longer. You have it in you to overcome such weaknesses. Follow the path I've opened to you, and they will be a thing of the past. A mere memory. That's one option, sure. A good one, too. But sorry, it's not the one I'm going to be picking. Man, I'm even more of a loser than I figured. Even now, I just can't bring myself to forget the taste of the chocolate I had that day. What? When Rufina and Reese found me, I was crushed beyond measure. I thought I'd never be able to stand up against and overcome the despair I felt. That's why that bitter yet sweet taste left such a strong impression on me. It's why it gave me the strength to move forward, even knowing how many hardships awaited. Because for every hardship, there will be just as much joy waiting for me. Kevin. So sorry, Faceless. This thing ain't gonna work out between us. Very well. I'm not about to force you to change your mind, but let's see how far such pathetic sentimentality will take you when your lives are placed in mortal peril, shall we? Apparently they're not important. No. Astart and Rostrum. We have to face both Guardians of Gehenna's gates at once for this round, huh? Once for this round, huh? You may be the minion, but surely even you realize you won't stand a chance of winning here. Not when you have to worry about that girl with you. Well, having any second thoughts. Don't you dare listen to him, Kevin. I'll be fine. Don't let worrying about me stop you doing what's right. Well, you're right about our chances of winning. 2 Eye-Wrecking Devils and you against just the two of us? Things aren't looking so hot. At least that was before I knew I'm not the man I once was. What? Ah! Ah! Kevin learned the Ascraft Spear of Ur. This is a space helmet attack that hits all foes in the field and especially effective versus devils. Set Spear of Ur as Kevin's S-Break. Yes! Wow. Impossible. What is that? This is the other side of my stigma. It's light side. It's been there all along. I was just never able to see it until now. How can this be? Seems like I owe you a word of thanks, Faceless. Turning down that deal you threw out has finally allowed me to gain a little confidence in myself. As a token of my appreciation, you can be the first one to see what it can do, as its victim. I always knew you were nothing more than a dog. Fine, have it your way. Let's see how much of a difference a change of color really makes against such overwhelming odds. I welcome you to try. Weissman. I'm like, Weissman's gonna be scary because I barely survived Weissman, and then Weissman dies. Man's got a sliver of health left. The level of upsetty I feel. Literally, the man's got a sliver of health left. The man had a sliver of health left.
Stay alert. This ain't over.
Should have been like 10 Zerum powders and 50 Zerum capsules, you know. Well done. But as long as Phantasm exists, I will never die. I'll always be watching you from here, Kevin Graham. Watching to see just how long you can continue to desperately play tough before accepting the reality around you. Ha ha ha. Desperately playing tough, huh? I wish I could disagree. What do you mean? That. Kevin. How are you? Are you alright? I'm fine. I think I just overdid it some again. I'll be okay though. I won't flop over like I did last time I pulled this. Not after I've made my mind up to finally face Rufina head on. Good. Ooh. Man's just like... Still, we might have beaten them, but we're not really in the best situation here, are we? How are we even supposed to get that door open? I don't think we're enough to get it to budge. This is when Joshua comes in with like Phantom Raid or some shit and just blows the doors down, right? Yeah. But we've come this far, we can't just give up. I think we're gonna have to destroy it. As usual, you mind if we at least try something else before resorting to rampant destruction? Besides, I think this gate's the most important defining structure down here. What makes this a replica of Gehenna more than anything? I can't see it being very easy to destroy. Hey! That sounds like... Is this a joke? Fuck's sake, Gilbert! Pant. What the hell is Gilbert doing here? I've never been so happy to see someone in my life. Gilbert, how the fuck did you get down here? Sorry, and once again, you go out of your way to defy logic. We found you in some weird-ass places, but this one has got to be the weirdest of them all. How did you get down here? His presence is more than a little suspicious. You're not working with the Lord of Phantasm, are you? The Lord of what's it? No, forget it. We don't have time to chit-chat. We need to run now, or we're done for. Huh? Was that? Roaring and the sound of flapping wings. A lot of them. Eek! Are those the devils? They're not as high-ranking as the two we just beat, but they're no slouches either. Ugh. How are we supposed to take this many on at once? Do something! This is your responsibility. I don't want to die! Not here. And you think we do? I sure don't. Damn it, I used too much of my Stigma's power. I've got to at least try and give these two an opening to get away, but how? Joshua comes in with Phantom Raid, that's how. Stay back! Stay back! Kevin, I don't think I've got much of a choice here. Or the light of the heavens. Yeah, that works too. Oh, everybody coming in! Kevin, Reese, are you okay? Thank goodness we made it. What is this place? Hell? Oh my, this looks like a one-to-one replica of Gehenna. My compliments to the designer. Nice to see you two hanging in there. I can see we're in for a fun time. Why the heck is Gilbert with you? You guys, why? After you fell down here, Celeste was gracious enough to search for your location. And thanks to you having the cube with you, we were able to find it. She finished connecting a path here only moments ago. This door will take you back up to the garden. Really? We appreciate it. I can't believe my luck. Anyway, the talk can wait until later. We'll charge in and try and force an opening in the ranks. You take that chance to break through and get through the gate. Hurry. Thanks. Truly, thank you. Then shall we begin? A most thrilling dance with devils awaits. Righteousness shall be victorious. Fall before the blade of Evander. Let's do this. Right. Of course, the Angel of Slaughter just rips right through them. Just. Yeah, the Angel of Slaughter title is very much a an hour 30 minutes. Ooh. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Save. Well, the decisions are. One moment. Mm. Oh, interesting. Um, all right, we should be able to do the final chapter on its own tomorrow, possibly. So, that is where we're gonna end today's stream. I will be back tomorrow for the finale, possibly. Also possibly not the finale. Who knows? Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. No early stream because I have to watch Superman and Lois as well as